In the quiet moments of life, many people feel that something unseen is slipping away. Opportunities pass by, good fortune seems to fade, and the heart begins to wonder why luck feels distant. It is not always because the world is cruel. Often it is because the vessel that holds our fortune has small, unnoticed leaks. Long ago, wise practitioners taught that luck is not only something we receive from the outside. It is also a flow that moves through our thoughts, our actions, and the energy we carry each day. When the mind is restless, when the heart holds resentment, or when our surroundings are filled with neglect, the flow of fortune quietly escapes. But just as a leaking vessel can be repaired, so can the flow of luck be restored. The first ancestral ritual is the ritual of cleansing stillness. At sunrise, before the noise of the world begins, sit quietly with a bowl of clean water beside you. Do not rush. Breathe slowly and allow your thoughts to settle like dust in a calm room. Then wash your hands slowly in the water as if you are washing away invisible weight. As the water touches your skin, imagine that every regret, every negative word spoken about you, and every hidden envy dissolves into the water. When you finish, pour the water onto the earth. This simple act reminds the spirit that yesterday's burdens do not belong to today. When the heart is clean, fortune finds space to return. The second ancestral ritual is the ritual of the grateful flame. At night, light a small candle in a quiet place. Sit before it and think of 3 things in your life that still shine with goodness. They do not have to be grand: a kind word, a peaceful breath, a lesson learned through hardship. As the flame burns, whisper gratitude for these things. Gratitude is a powerful seal. It closes the cracks through which luck escapes. When a person constantly focuses on what is missing, the mind creates emptiness. But when gratitude becomes a habit, the mind begins to recognize abundance. And where abundance is recognized, it grows. The third ancestral ritual of silent giving. Many believe luck is a treasure to be protected and hidden. Yet the old teachings say the opposite. Fortune flows like water. When it is blocked, it becomes stagnant. When it moves, it becomes fresh again. Once each week, give something without seeking recognition. It may be a small coin to someone in need, a meal shared with another, or even sincere encouragement offered to a struggling soul. Do it quietly. Do not announce it. Do not expect reward. This act opens the channels through which fortune travels. What leaves your hand with kindness often returns through unexpected doors. These 3 rituals are simple, yet they carry deep power: cleansing stillness, the grateful flame, and silent giving. They repair the unseen leaks that slowly drain a person's luck. Remember this: luck is not a distant star that only a few can touch. It is more like a gentle river that flows toward a peaceful heart, a mindful spirit, and generous hands. When the mind becomes calm, when gratitude lights the darkness, and when kindness moves freely through your actions, the leaks begin to close. And when the leaks are closed, the fortune that once slipped away quietly finds its way back home. Luck can leak away. Fortune is not only about external opportunities, it can slowly disappear through negative thoughts, resentment, and neglected surroundings. Many people believe that luck is something random, something that appears for a few fortunate individuals and disappears for everyone else. They watch others succeed and quietly think that fate has chosen favorites. But the deeper truth is more subtle. Luck rarely disappears suddenly. Most of the time it leaks away slowly, quietly, through small cracks in the way we think, speak, and live. When the mind becomes filled with constant worry, it begins to push away the calm awareness needed to recognize opportunity. A restless mind sees problems everywhere but rarely notices the doors that are quietly opening. Opportunities often arrive softly, like a gentle breeze, but a distracted mind cannot feel them. In this way, worry becomes one of the first small leaks in the vessel that holds a person's fortune. Another leak appears when resentment takes root in the heart. Holding anger toward others may feel justified, but it creates a heavy energy that clouds judgment and weakens inner peace. A heart filled with bitterness struggles to welcome good things because it remains focused on old wounds. It is like trying to pour fresh water into a container that is already filled with mud. The clearer the heart becomes, the easier it is for good fortune to settle within it. There is also a quiet leak that forms through careless words. Words carry weight. When a person constantly speaks negatively about their life, their future, or their abilities, those words slowly shape their reality. Speaking with hopelessness plants seeds of doubt in the mind. Over time, those seeds grow into beliefs that limit action and confidence. And when confidence fades, the courage to step toward opportunity fades with it. The environment around us can also create unseen cracks. A place filled with disorder, neglect, and clutter often reflects a restless state of mind. When surroundings are chaotic, the mind becomes distracted and heavy. But when a person takes time to care for their space, even in small ways, it sends a message to the spirit that life deserves respect and attention. Order invites clarity, and clarity invites better decisions. Perhaps the most subtle leak of all comes from forgetting gratitude. When the mind constantly focuses on what is missing, it creates the illusion that life is always lacking. This sense of lack closes the heart and dims awareness of the many small blessings that already exist. Yet fortune tends to grow where appreciation lives. Gratitude opens the eyes to possibilities that were always present but previously unnoticed. When these leaks combine worry, resentment, careless speech, neglected surroundings, and forgotten gratitude, the flow of luck weakens. It is not that fortune refuses to visit, rather, the vessel meant to hold it slowly empties. But the good news is that leaks can be repaired. When a person begins to calm the mind, release old bitterness, speak with intention, care for their surroundings, and remember gratitude, the cracks begin to close. The flow of fortune becomes steady again. Luck was never truly lost, it was simply waiting for the vessel to be whole once more. Ritual of cleansing stillness, sitting quietly at sunrise and washing hands with clean water symbolizes releasing past burdens, negativity and emotional weight so new fortune can enter. In the early hours of the morning, when the world is still quiet and the air carries a gentle calm, there is a powerful moment that many people overlook. This moment before the noise of the day begins holds a special kind of stillness. It is during this peaceful time that the ritual of cleansing stillness can begin, a simple yet meaningful practice passed down through generations to restore balance and invite back the fortune that may have quietly slipped away. The ritual begins with something very ordinary, a bowl of clean water. Water has always been seen as a symbol of renewal and purification. It flows, it washes away dust, and it carries away what no longer belongs. When a person sits quietly with this bowl of water, they are not just preparing for a physical act, but also creating a moment of reflection. The body becomes still, the breath slows, and the mind begins to settle like ripples on a lake that slowly fade into calm. At first, the mind may wander. Thoughts about unfinished tasks, worries about the future, or memories of yesterday may appear. This is natural. The key is not to fight these thoughts, but simply to let them pass like clouds drifting across the sky. As the breathing becomes slower and deeper, a sense of quiet awareness begins to grow. In this stillness, the person reconnects with the present moment. Then the hands are slowly placed into the bowl of water. The movement is gentle and deliberate. As the cool water touches the skin, the person imagines that every burden carried from the past begins to dissolve. Regret, disappointment, harsh words spoken by others, and even the doubts that quietly live within the mind are all allowed to fade away into the water. This moment of imagination may seem simple, yet the mind is powerful. When intention is placed into an action, the action gains meaning. Washing the hands becomes more than a physical cleansing, it becomes a symbolic release. It tells the heart that yesterday's weight does not need to follow into today. Many people carry invisible burdens for years without realizing it. Old mistakes, painful memories, or the fear of repeating past failures can quietly shape the way they see themselves. These unseen weights create tension in the mind and close the door to new possibilities. But when a person consciously releases these feelings, even through a simple ritual, the mind begins to feel lighter. After the hands are washed, the water is poured onto the earth. This final step completes the cycle. The earth receives what has been released, just as nature has always absorbed what humans leave behind. In that moment, the person acknowledges that they have let go of what they no longer need. The ritual does not promise instant miracles. Instead, it gently resets the inner state of the person who practices it. When the mind becomes calm and the heart feels lighter, awareness grows stronger. And with clearer awareness comes the ability to recognize opportunities that were once hidden behind stress and distraction. In this way, cleansing stillness repairs one of the quiet leaks through which luck escapes. By releasing the past and welcoming a new beginning each morning, the spirit becomes ritual of the grateful flame. Lighting a candle at night and expressing gratitude for 3 blessings strengthens a mindset of abundance and seals the cracks where luck escapes. As evening settles and the noise of the day slowly fades, there is a quiet space that invites reflection. The sun has completed its journey and the world becomes softer, calmer, and more thoughtful. This is the moment when the ritual of the grateful flame can begin. It is a simple practice, yet it carries a deep power that helps restore the balance between the heart and the unseen flow of fortune. The ritual begins with the lighting of a small candle. The flame is gentle, steady, and warm. It does not rush and it does not struggle. It simply burns with quiet purpose. When a person sits before this small flame, they are invited to slow down and observe its calm presence. The flickering light reminds the mind that even a tiny source of brightness can push away darkness. In the busy rhythm of life, many people spend most of their time thinking about what they do not have. They worry about money not yet earned, opportunities not yet gained, or recognition not yet received. This habit slowly trains the mind to focus on absence. When the mind constantly searches for what is missing, it begins to believe that life itself is empty. The grateful flame offers a different path. As the candle burns, the person gently brings their attention to 3 things in their life that still hold goodness. These things do not need to be extraordinary. In fact, the most powerful moments of gratitude often come from the simplest blessings. It might be the presence of a supportive friend, a lesson learned from a difficult experience, or even the quiet comfort of having a place to rest at night. When these thoughts of gratitude are spoken softly or held deeply in the mind, something subtle begins to change. The heart becomes lighter. The mind begins to recognize that life is not only made of struggles and disappointments, it is also filled with small gifts that often go unnoticed. Gratitude has a unique energy. It shifts attention from lack to abundance. Instead of seeing an empty space, the mind begins to see what already exists. This shift may appear small, but it transforms the way a person interacts with the world. When someone believes that good things are present in their life, they naturally become more open, hopeful, and patient. This openness creates a powerful effect. Opportunities that once seemed invisible begin to appear more clearly. Relationships grow stronger because appreciation replaces complaint. Decisions become wiser because the mind is no longer clouded by constant dissatisfaction. The flame itself becomes a symbol during this ritual. Just as the candle continues to burn steadily when protected from strong winds, the sense of gratitude grows stronger when nurtured regularly. Each night that a person returns to this small moment of reflection, the habit of appreciation deepens. Over time, gratitude acts like a seal that closes the cracks through which luck often escapes. When the mind is trapped in complaint and frustration, fortune struggles to remain. But when appreciation becomes a daily practice, the inner environment changes. It becomes a place where good things can stay and grow. The ritual of the grateful flame does not require wealth, special tools, or complicated knowledge. It only asks for a few quiet minutes and a sincere heart. Yet in that small flame lives a powerful reminder. When light is welcomed with gratitude, darkness slowly loses its hold. Ritual of silent giving, performing kind acts without seeking recognition, keeps the flow of fortune moving, as generosity opens the path for good energy to return. In the quiet rhythm of life, there is a principle that many people overlook. They believe that luck must be protected, saved, and guarded carefully, as if fortune were a limited treasure that might disappear if shared. This belief creates a habit of holding tightly to everything: time, resources, kindness, and even encouragement. Yet the ancient wisdom carried through generations teaches a different truth. Fortune behaves much like water in a flowing river. When it moves freely, it remains fresh and alive. But when it is blocked or trapped, it slowly becomes stagnant. The ritual of silent giving is built upon this understanding. It reminds a person that generosity does not weaken their fortune. Instead, it keeps the natural flow of abundance alive. This ritual is simple, but its effect reaches deeper than many expect. Once each week, a person chooses to give something without announcing it and without expecting recognition. The act can be very small. It might be offering food to someone who is hungry, giving a small coin to someone in need, helping a stranger with a task, or speaking a sincere word of encouragement to someone who feels discouraged. What matters most is not the size of the gift, but the quiet intention behind it. When giving happens silently, the heart remains pure. There is no desire for praise, no expectation of reward, and no attempt to gain attention. The act becomes an expression of genuine kindness rather than a transaction. This quiet generosity carries a different energy than giving that seeks recognition. In many moments of life, people hesitate to give because they feel they already have too little. They think that generosity should wait until abundance arrives. Yet this way of thinking often creates a cycle of scarcity. When the mind believes there is never enough to share, it closes the door to the natural circulation of good fortune. Silent giving gently breaks this cycle. By offering something freely, even when resources are limited, the person sends a powerful message to their own mind: there is enough. This shift in belief changes the way a person experiences life. Instead of feeling trapped by lack, they begin to recognize the quiet forms of abundance already present around them. There is also a deeper effect that unfolds over time. Acts of kindness influence the world in ways that cannot always be measured immediately. A simple gesture may lighten someone's burden, restore hope, or inspire that person to help another in return. In this way, a single quiet action can travel far beyond the moment it was given. The person who practices silent giving may not always see the full path of their generosity, but its energy continues to move through the lives it touches. And often, in unexpected moments, that kindness returns through new opportunities, supportive relationships, or timely help during difficult times. This does not happen because the universe is keeping score like a merchant counting coins. It happens because generosity keeps the heart open and the mind connected to others. A person who gives freely develops compassion, awareness, and trust in the flow of life. These qualities naturally attract cooperation, goodwill, and opportunity. Over time, silent giving repairs one of the deepest leaks through which luck escapes: the belief that fortune must be held tightly to survive. When generosity replaces fear, the flow of abundance begins to move again. And as that flow continues, the path of fortune slowly finds its way back, guided by the quiet power of a generous heart. Fortune follows a peaceful and generous heart when the mind is calm. Gratitude is practiced and kindness is shared. The flow of luck naturally returns and remains strong. There comes a moment in every person's life when they begin to question the nature of luck. Some people spend years believing that fortune is something distant, something controlled entirely by chance or by forces beyond their reach. They watch others succeed and quietly assume that those individuals were simply chosen by fate. Yet the deeper truth is far more subtle and far more empowering. Luck is rarely a sudden gift that appears without reason. In many ways, it behaves like a gentle current that moves towards certain conditions. Just as water naturally flows toward open paths rather than blocked ones, fortune tends to move toward a mind that is calm, a heart that is grateful, and hands that act with kindness. These qualities create an inner environment where opportunity can appear, grow, and remain. When the mind is restless, it becomes difficult to recognize the possibilities that exist around us. A person who is constantly anxious or overwhelmed often focuses only on immediate problems. Their thoughts circle around fear and uncertainty, leaving little space to notice new directions or hidden chances. Even when opportunity stands nearby, it may go unseen because the mind is too crowded with noise. A calm mind, however, sees the world differently. When the mind learns to slow down and observe without panic, awareness becomes clearer. Small details become visible. A conversation, a new idea, a chance meeting may suddenly reveal potential that was invisible before. Calmness does not create luck directly, but it allows a person to notice and act upon the opportunities that luck quietly offers. Gratitude plays another powerful role in shaping the flow of fortune. When a person regularly acknowledges the good that already exists in their life, their perspective begins to change. Instead of feeling surrounded by lack, they begin to see that many forms of abundance are already present. This shift in perspective strengthens hope and confidence. A grateful person tends to move through life with a lighter spirit. They approach challenges with patience rather than frustration. They appreciate the support of others and recognize lessons within difficult experiences. Because of this attitude, they often build stronger relationships and make wiser decisions. These outcomes may appear to be good luck from the outside, but they are often the natural result of a grateful way of living. Kindness is the third force that strengthens the flow of fortune. When a person treats others with generosity and respect, they quietly build connections of trust and goodwill. These connections form a network of support that can become invaluable during times of need. Opportunities frequently travel through people, and those who are known for kindness often find that others are more willing to help, collaborate, and share possibilities. Kindness also shapes the inner character of a person. When compassion guides actions, the heart becomes less burdened by bitterness or envy. This emotional freedom creates clarity and peace, which allow better choices to emerge. When calmness, gratitude, and kindness work together, they form a powerful foundation. They close the hidden cracks through which fortune often slips away. Life may still bring challenges, and not every plan will succeed, but the overall direction of a person's path begins to change. In time, what once felt like missing luck begins to reappear in subtle ways: new chances, supportive people, unexpected solutions, and moments of progress. These are not random miracles. They are the natural results of a mind that is peaceful, a heart that appreciates what it has, and hands that move through the world with generosity. When these qualities are nurtured, fortune no longer feels distant. It begins to flow quietly, steadily, and naturally through everyday life. Sparkles,